Welcome back to ADHD Skills with Jess and Alex. She's Jess. I'm
Hi,
Alex.
Alex.
Today we're going to be talking about impulsivity. So, Jess, tell me a bit about your experience with impulsivity.
Wow, I can really relate to this. I don't know about anyone else, but lately I am planning a wedding for myself. And yes, very exciting, very exciting. And so what's been happening is I've been getting kind of overwhelmed a little bit with lately was about like the bridesmaids dresses and getting for the ceremony and also the florist. So what happens with me is I reach out to everyone and then I don't hear back for like a day or two, which is usually normal because people are working. But I go out and I'm freaking out and I'm like, I need to call someone and reach out to them. Why didn't they answer back to me? And it's like, it's only been a day or less than 24 hours. So in my mind, it's like I'm racing and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I just want to hear answers myself right away, which I think is hard because technology makes it go so fast. And I'm just like, well, I haven't heard back anything. And I'm kind of internally freaking out because I want everything to be the perfect way, but it hasn't even been 24 hours yet, or even 48 hours yet, which is pretty normal actually, what I've learned.
Hmm.
So that's what's been my most recent experience with impulsivity.
Yeah. So, are you doing anything to like prevent yourself from impulsively becoming, hate to use this term, but bridezilla?
Yeah, no, hey, go for it and use that word. So I actually have. So what I've learned that's been helpful for me is when I start to feel very overwhelmed and start to feel frantic, I do not pick up my phone. I walk away from my laptop and I take like a break and I get away from everything. And then I kind of mentally prepare myself and just say to myself, like, how long has it been? So I say it's only been a day, which is normal. Also, the nice thing is getting support from other people. My fiance has been able to help me and say, help me to rationalize things. Help me to, when he starts to see me get very overwhelmed, he'll be like, what's going on? And so I'll talk things out to him. That's also been really helpful to calm me down and stop my mind from going so fast and help me to, the big thing is to think rationally, which is what I've learned to do. So for me, thinking rationally has been helpful to have someone to talk to about it and also to get away from all of the technology, to get away from everything, to checking my email all the time and just get away from it and say, okay, when was the last time I heard from them? When did I contact them? Look at a calendar and be like, okay, realistically, that's normal. It's fine that you haven't heard from them within 24 hours. If you haven't heard from them within 3 or 4 days, that's when you reach out to them. So for me, it's been really helpful to get away from all the stimulus and also to have someone there to talk to. Have you experienced anything?
Well, I just want to like underscore what you were saying there. So, you're saying space and a little self talk helps you.
Yes,
Okay.
for sure. Definitely for sure. What about you?
Well, I'm a huge hockey fan and I collect jerseys. Um, I have probably too many jerseys. I'm embarrassed to say how many I have. I did count the other day finally and was a little shocked. But yeah, but they're coming out with new jerseys all the time. And ooh, that one looks cool. I'd like to have that one in my collection. And so I get impulsive when it comes to spending. And if you don't know anything about hockey jerseys, they're really expensive.
I bet.
So I have had to like come up with a process of determining whether or not I can buy a hockey jersey.
Ooh, what's that process? I'd be interested to hear about that.
Yeah, so I have a rule that I can only have one of each design.
Okay.
So I've got a Nino Niederreiter jersey for the Minnesota Wild in their home uniform.
Okay.
Nino Niederreiter does not play for the Wild anymore and hasn't for a few years. But I've still got his jersey. Would I like a jersey with someone who's currently on the team? Yes, but there's always a chance that player could get traded too or leave the team in free agency or whatever.
Of course.
So I just keep the one that I have. If I want to get another one,
Mm-hmm.
I have to make sure that it's one I don't already have.
Okay. Don't already have.
Yes. And I need to make sure that like I'm actually going to wear it
Mm.
because that's the tricky part. Like I've got so many that if I add another one, am I actually going to wear it? I wear hockey jerseys quite a bit, so do buy some more hockey jerseys, but I've got this process. But in the moment when you see the jersey and you're like, ooh, I'd really like a Kirill Kaprizov in the Minnesota Wild's home jersey,
So what do you do then?
I have to pause.
Pause? What's that?
So taking a break, really thinking it through.
Okay.
It's the exact opposite of impulsivity.
Sounds
So
like it.
I'm betting there's some people out there watching this video who are going, "Oh, I could never pause. I'm too impulsive."
Mm-hmm.
But you can. It just takes a little work.
Okay.
So what I've learned to do is build up that pause muscle. And it's a growth area for me, as I'm sure it is with a lot of people with ADHD. You have to build up that muscle of pausing. And you just have to like practice it. It takes a little time, but it can work. So initially, all you're looking for is a brief little pause.
Okay.
Those people who say wait 24 hours before you make a big purchase, that's going to be more neurotypical advice. For someone who's got ADHD and they're just starting to battle their impulsivity, focus on a minute
Ooh, I like that.
or even shorter.
Definitely sounds doable if it's just a minute. But
Yeah.
how do you pause exactly?
Yeah, it's tricky, but you have to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's just breathing or doing what you did and stepping away from the situation. So it's about creating space and giving yourself a little time, if that makes sense.
No, it definitely does. I like that. It definitely, because sometimes you can be impulsive, or maybe you're at work and you're looking stuff up and you can't really leave your desk. So it's helpful to know you could do it in the moment and present. And just I like the breathing idea and
Mhm,
just maybe putting a timer on your phone for a
mhm.
minute. So that sounds really interesting, pausing. I definitely got to try that.
Yeah. It like I said, it's a muscle. You have to build it up.
Hmm.
Focus on doing just a little bit better than you did the time before.
Hey, definitely sounds interesting. So I'd be interested if anyone wants to try out pausing or taking breaks and taking steps away from things that make them impulsive and let us know what they think.
Yeah, absolutely. And just remember, be kind to yourself. Self-compassion is key. In fact, we might be talking about that next month.
I don't know, guys. Make sure you guys tune in. I'm Jess.
I'm Alex.